Okay, so we're going to be making a 2D game, so let's just go over some of the basic 2D game quick tweaks that we can change just to get our game sort of up and running so we can even start thinking about design. So we'll just go over movement, things like gravity and speed, tweaking the camera, collision, background, and just sort of like a bit of design principles. So with your character, we can click on your character, we can press edit side scroller character, and this is going to bring up the um, character. You can see it over here. So we've got a few things we're going to tweak in here, but most of these will be found in your character movement. So this is going to be the first place that you're going to want to tweak. So for example, if I turn it on, you can see like the running speed as it sort of does from one platform to the other. Things like that we can change in here. First of all, we've got gravity. So maybe you want more of sort of a heavier gravity. You know, you can sort of tweak that. You can that would sort of get rid of some of the floatiness. You can do messing about with a bunch of these. What else we got? We've got character movement, walking. We've got like walk speed as well. So let's increase that. And what else we got? We got jump velocity. Since we've gone higher under gravity, let's go higher under jump velocity as well. And then again, yeah, most of the time you're just going to want to tweak these and test it out. So much sort of faster run speed. Okay, it jumps way too high now. So maybe let's bring that gravity down a bit. But those are going to be the areas that you sort of want to mess with. And like I say, it's just going to be a bunch of refining just to get all these numbers just right. In there, you've got stuff like air control. How much do you want your character to be able to move around in the sky? Like how much, we sort of want to be able to control that and tweak that. That's always quite a nice one. And that's networking. You don't want to mess with that. We've not got swimming. We don't really have flying. Got a few physics stuff here. If we're pushing stuff, let's not bother with that for now. I think that's pretty much most of what we're going to sort of mess with for this. There's braking distance as well in here somewhere. There is. Braking fraction, so maybe if you want it to be snappier or looser, you can sort of tweak that as well. So if I run now, and so like I'm just going to aim to release just before, sort of, see the difference just before the edge. So that's a braking factor of 1, but let's try to say that's like, I don't know, something ridiculous like 55 and see what happens. That's got like an immediate stop. Almost dizzyingly, but then what if you've got like, if you're designing like an ice level? Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff like gravity, speed, movement speed. It's got almost, it's actually a little bit too slippy now, but that'll be down to you to sort of tweak a bunch of these things and get all of these right. So that's your character movement. That's going to get up most of your good stuff in there. Apply gradual jumping. Yeah, I think all that's good. Cool. What did I say next? Oh yes, the camera. So, for example, if we go into the game and press F11 to get full screen, this is how much height we can sort of see above or below our character, with our character sort of placed in the middle. What if we wanted to see more? Or what if we wanted to see less? Well, what you're going to want to look at is get your camera boom. And under camera boom, we've got this target arm length. So for example, if we double that, did you know, as well as 10,000, you can also put like asterisks times 2 as well. And then let's go to play mode. And that's made no difference. Why did you make no difference? Let's try taking the camera and pulling it wider, pulling it further. Okay, 2D games, man. They work different to 3D games. What I'll do is I'll just click my character. We can sort of see the screen layout here. So if I go to my camera, maybe it's these that I need to tweak. Okay, so it's just this slider here because it's an orthographic camera, I guess. So depending on how much you want to be able to see or not want to be able to see. You can mess with that value a little bit. There you go. So we click on the camera and it turns out it's the orthographic view. So with the side view component, it's the orthographic one you want to mess with. So let's just set that back to about there. Give or take. There you go. So that's your camera. I said that is way too close. Way too close. Let's change you to a 2. So again, you can sort of tweak and change that. But if I take my camera boom and move it up, okay, so I can still adjust your camera boom by dragging it and moving up. So if you want to be able to see, like if you want your feet a little bit closer to the ground, you probably want that an offset as well. Ooh, don't tweak that. But you can sort of move it up or down as well in there. Let's not move it left or right. We'll probably fix that later on because you want a little bit of camera sway. We'll probably add a camera system at some point. Cool. That's your camera done. Collision. I think so. We've loosely sort of briefly been over this, but if you sort of find one of your sprites that you want to edit, let's say we're going to edit this sprite, we just double click it to bring it up, and then we press edit collision, and we can just bring the points and move them around. Like that. Should you want to add more points, we just shift click. And then we can add more points to this. Again, it's what always remember, the more complex your collision is, the more of a pain it's going to be. So now, if I run a jump on this, we should have got more interesting collisions. Cool. That's your collision. How to resolve your collision. What else did we want to do? Oh, background. Let's say you want to add a background. Now you could just simply create a sprite and just throw a sprite in your background. But you notice if you click on your sprite, there's already a background system set up, which we can double click to bring up. And it looks like this. Note that this is a square, a full square. I think it's saying it's 512 by 512, which seems really low res. So once you've got an image, I'm just going to bring myself in a sky, and I'm going to replace it. So don't forget to right click, create a sprite, and oh, apparently you don't need to create a sprite, you can just drag a material in. There we go. Now I've got a sky. It's very blue, very white even, perhaps too white. And this image, I believe, is 1024, or is it 2048? It might be 2048. Yeah, it is 2048. So I don't know how much difference that's going to make if we set it to be the correct ratio. There we go, a lot bigger, so let's scale it down. Let's just divide by 4, and there we go, we've got the sky. And now, when we press play, we've got a bit more of a sky going on. Cool, okay, so that's sort of your main stuff for just tweaking. Again, when you start to think about your level design as well, I just recommend making sure everything's got like a Y of 0. I mean, because the play is based on a capsule, you can sort of see the thickness. So let's say you wanted, if we just select your player, you know, you can have like the feet in front or like behind, and it'll sort of still work with the degree. So you know, the same with like the boat. If you want to edge your boat like in front or behind, it'll still work, you know, because the capsule's got a little bit of thickness to it, but you sort of loosely want to aim for around a 0 on the Y. And then, yeah, we've got these big horrible platforms in the template, but you can just replace those with much nicer imagery. And then, like I say, think about how you want to design your map. So I'd recommend starting with like a simple sketch. Let me sort of show you what I mean. So just even plotting out, like where your platform's going to be, like what's your target point going to be about, and then you can start going in and actually replacing those assets. So you can put yourself like a little background in, consider that, and then take that into your actual, level design when it comes to actually designing your level. And the other thing is to consider your camera width as well into your design. Think about, like where your camera's going to go in your design. So this is quite square level design. That so if you go for something a bit more like Super Meat Boy levels are quite square, but you could also there's nothing stopping you going from something that's a little bit more Super Mario long. You can see like this is more. It's not got as much like height and depth, but it's got a good length to it. That's quite easy to do. You just take this guy, make sure you get like a seamless background, and then this isn't a seamless background, but then yeah, all of a sudden you can have a much longer level. If that's what you're going for. But yeah, so base it around having like a target point. Most platformer games have like a princess at the end of the line to capture or something like that. So there you go. A bunch of stuff just to get you started with your 2D game there. Thanks for watching it, and yeah, see you next time.